All right, guys, welcome to our first call of May. It is May 2nd, 2016. What an exciting day it's been. I hope you had the opportunity to listen to the National Wake Up Call this morning. I hope to have made you guys proud this morning. I left it on the table, right? So if you don't know by now that I'm a strong believer in the leadership ladder, then you're living under a rock, right? So make sure if you haven't listened to it, that you listen to that call and then get into the habit of listening to the National Wake Up Calls, because they really are well planned out. I mean, the speakers that come on, we take a lot of time in putting that together, and it's awesome training, right? On a Monday morning, get you fired up. So get into that habit of listening to the National Wake Up Calls. And if you can't listen to them live, go back and download the podcast and listen to the replays, because they're really, really, really good and loaded with awesome, valuable information to move your business forward. So it is a new month. It is May, unbelievably. There are so many different promotions going on. It's making my head spin. If you didn't hear on the National Wake Up Call this morning, but Shanti will be at Summit. For those of you that are going to Summit, what an exciting development that was, right? Everybody was all freaking out that Shanti wouldn't be there. Well, he is. And the top Success Club point earners in the two categories of Star Diamond and above, or Diamond and above, and then Ruby and below, top Success Club point earners will be able to work out with him live at Summit and do a size dance party on the Friday night that we're in Nashville. So that's super cool. This month, Success Club earners get a call with Brian Tracy. Another amazing, amazing promotion that helps you move your personal development forward. What a great way to lead into this call tonight. I mean, the list goes on and on, right? This month we have all Shanti programs, not all of them, but Size and Insanity Max 30 on sale for our challenge packs. It is Shanti month. Make sure you're starting the conversations now to hit Success Club, to advance in the leadership ladder, and to grow your business, right? We need your commitment to dust yourself off from the month of April, whether it was a good month for you or a bad month for you. May, fresh start. We're in the middle of spring. It's a great time to get your business moving towards the summer and growing and flourishing and all that jazz. So without further ado, I am going to stop talking, because as you can tell, my voice is like hurting. And I'm going to turn it over to Monica, who please thank her for coordinating this call with Josh. It's such a great honor to have him on our call. So Monica is going to take over now, and I am going to be quiet.
Hey guys, how you doing? All right, we got a big night in store. But it's been a big day for Diesel Nation. If you missed it, watch the replay, because Christina was absolutely incredible this morning, as usual. And every time I think we've heard it all from her, she manages to blow us away. Am I right? So what she said this morning perfectly ties in what tonight's all about. And I want to repeat it, and I want you guys to really think about this, because I know when she said it, I was saying to myself, amen, hallelujah, yes. She said, you don't have to recruit to have a business, but you do have to recruit to have a growing business. And that's a really powerful statement, and it really tied in what this business is all about. We know that we can have a business by hitting Success Club, and I think most of us on this call tonight we understand it, we've nailed it down. But when it comes to recruiting, it's a whole other story, right? And so to give you a quick background on why I sought out our very special guest tonight, it was because my success partner, Audrey Robles, and I, we have weekly calls where we touch base and we keep each other on our toes. And for the last 4 weeks, Audrey's been ranting and raving about a training she invested in. And it's called The Art of Recruiting. And each week that she came back, she gave me a recap of all the things that she was learning. And I was just blown away. I was just sitting back hearing all the things, a lot of things we know, but it just was put into perfect format in a great system. And then it came to the point where she tells me, on the first week of her first completion, she says, in the first week of everything Josh has taught me and applying it, I've already recruited and added 5 coaches to my team this week. And when she said that, I'm sure you're all thinking exactly what I was thinking. I need some Josh Coates in my life. And so here we are. That's why I sought him out. That's why I reached out and I said, I've heard about you. nothing but good reviews, and I want to know a little bit more about it. And I thought, of course, I need to share it with the team as well. So let me tell you a little bit about him. Josh is a member of the John Maxwell team and founder of Legacy Leadership. He specializes in putting personal development and leadership into terms that Beachbody coaches can understand, right? So he knows our business. He's taken the time to really learn it. And with that, he applies it to what we do. Everything that he knows as being a life coach on the John Maxwell team, he now applies it to what our business needs. He's mentored over 20 plus PB coaches one-on-one, including four of the top 30 coaches in the network in 2015. He runs online trainings like the one that Audrey was a part of. And he's attended many team calls.
Fucking headphones.
For Saturdays. Hold on, I think I have somebody unmuted that's making a little bit of a feedback. And so anyway, he's been to Super Saturdays and spoken on team calls, but tonight we have the privilege of having him on our team call. And it's a huge honor that I want to introduce Josh Quote to Diesel Nation. You there, Josh?
I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
I hear you great. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
You're more than welcome. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you for all the kind words, even though I gave some of those kind words to you. I still thank you for them. And I feel a little pressure now since Christina spoke on the national wake-up call this morning. I feel like I really got to bring it tonight for you guys to really enjoy yourself. So I'm ready. I'm honored to be here with all of you guys tonight. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Monday night to hang out with me. Hopefully whoever that was that got unmuted found their headphones, because it sounded like they really, really needed those headphones. But if you could just everyone do me a huge favor. I know we have a crap ton of people on the call tonight, which is incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But please keep an eye on your screen to make sure that you're muted throughout the call, because it's really, really, I'm ADD, man. If there's any distractions, I get thrown off really, really quick, which is why I apologize. I won't even be watching the chat box tonight, because if I watch the chat box, I'll just forget what I'm even talking about. Before you know it, we'll be talking about like football, or I don't know what you guys like to talk about. It won't be recruiting though. So feel free to chat, have a good time, and I'll catch up with the chat later when we're all done, okay? So again, thank you so much for being here. For those of you that haven't heard of John Maxwell, I hope all of you have, but he's the #1 leadership trainer on the planet. 7 years in a row now, he's been declared the #1 leadership trainer, and I'm just incredibly honored to take what he has taught me to work with some really, really, really special Beachbody coaches that have helped me to understand your business and then basically translate the language into your language. So everything comes down to being intentional, okay? Everything in life. Doesn't matter if we're talking about your health and fitness. It doesn't matter if we're talking about a relationship. It doesn't matter if we're talking about a business, recruiting, anything and everything you want to do. You've got to be intentional. That's the #1 rule. If we could just all understand that, life would be really, really good for everybody, okay? But tonight I want to specifically teach you about the mindset behind recruiting, because I believe that everything we have in life and everything we do in life comes down to what's going on in here and what's going on down in here. And that at the end of the day, if we could get this stuff right, we would do the right things and we would have the right things, okay? So I want to walk you through a few simple things tonight. I want everyone, please, please, please take notes, okay? I want everyone to write down these 3 words that have been in the personal development industry forever, but they're words to live by. Be, do, have. Say it again. Be, do, have. I don't know how many of you have heard of the #1 best-selling personal development book of all time. It was called Think and Grow Rich, and it was basically a study of all of the most successful people in the industrial age to try to figure out what is the difference between incredibly successful people and everyone else. And it came down to these 3 words: be, do, have. And I want to walk you through a couple of things here. So #1, people do not have because they don't do. Now, as health and fitness Coaches, I'm sure you've watched people that sign up for challenge groups, buy the Shaco, they get the program, and they are refuse to push play, right? Or maybe they say they're pushing play, but they never check into the challenge groups. And they never get results. And then they complain that, I guess this stuff just doesn't work. I tried it twice. I worked out 2 times with Sean T, and I didn't lose any weight. I guess this doesn't work. And hopefully you as health and fitness coaches have understood with your health and fitness, you cannot have something different unless you are willing to do something different. Would you guys all agree with that? Raise your hand if you agree with that statement. You cannot have something different unless you are willing to do something different. And we preach this all day and night about health and fitness. Why? Because Beachbody coaches have become very, very comfortable with pressing play every day. Which, don't get me wrong, that's good, okay? It's one of the vital behaviors. You better be pressing play every day if you're a coach, okay? You better, at minimum, press play and drink your Shaco every single day, right? But I always say that as humans, one of our greatest weaknesses is that we don't take the lessons we learn in one journey and apply it to the next. So many of us know with our health and fitness, if we want to have, we have to do. And if we're not having, chances are we probably need to do a little more, right? Or eat a little less, but that's still doing something different, right? It's still making a sacrifice. And then when it comes to our business, we're not always willing to show up every single day. When it comes to our business, we don't press play every day. In fact, sometimes we show up for our business once or twice a week, and then we wonder why we don't hit Success Club. And then on the 30th, we're all freaking out. We're all freaking out because, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've done everything that everyone said to do, and I guess it just doesn't work for me. You didn't do everything everyone said to do. You did everything everyone said to do 2 days out of the week. What would happen if you worked out 2 days out of the week? How many of you would expect to get results this month if you worked out 2 days a week? Anybody? Nobody, right? Nobody. In fact, we like tease people that think they can go to the gym 2 days a week and get results. And yet in our business, we show up a lot of times 2 days a week. We have days that we call in sick. Now, obviously, we're the boss, so we don't have to call ourselves. But we take sick days that we would have never in a million years called into an actual 9-to-5 job sick for. I'm just going to take a day off today because I just don't feel that good. I got a scratchy throat, or I got to. And 9 times out of 10, the excuses we use to take a day off from our business would never, ever, ever, ever happen at a day job. I personally made a commitment to myself. I worked a crappy job for 9.5 years that I absolutely hated, detailing people's cars. I hated it with a passion. I'm absolutely passionate about what I do as a speaker and a life coach, but just as passionately as I love this is how passionately I hated my day job. And I said I will work harder for myself than I've ever been willing to work for any other boss. Because the other bosses didn't value my time, they didn't value my energy, they didn't value my gifts, they didn't value my money. No way in the world am I going to work less for myself than I would have for someone else. I did not call in sick for other people. So you better believe I don't call in sick to myself. If you want to have something different, you have to be willing to do something different. We all know the old quote from Einstein. It is insanity to do the same thing over and over and expect different results. Again, we love to say stuff like this about our health journey. We love it. We post crap like this every single day trying to motivate other people to sign up for challenge groups. And then we don't take our own advice when it comes to working a business. So you've got to do something different, okay? But here's the thing. That's only part of it. Socrates, one of my favorite quotes is, "We are what we repeatedly do," which is partly true. But I do believe there are many, many, many people in this business that actually are showing up every day and doing the right things consistently, and they're still not getting the results that they should. So when we are doing the right things and still not getting the right results, we have to ask ourselves, do I believe? Remember, be, do, have. It's a full equation. Be, do, have. In other words, the person that you be, I know that's not proper English, but the person that you be, in other words, what you really believe on the inside about yourself will alter the way you do, which will then lead to the results you will have. Let me just give you a very simple, basic example of how this happens in the Beachbody business. So we have people who you can tell don't believe in themselves. They don't have confidence. They don't value themselves. And they say things in their posts like this. They say, here's a little transformation for Transformation Tuesday. Now, I know you can't tell much difference between the left picture and the right picture. You know, I know it's, you know, I'm a work in progress, and it's all about the journey, and I'm never perfect. You know, I know I only lost 30 pounds this week, but I'm trying my hardest. And if you'd like to maybe join me on my journey, like, you know, you could probably comment below and I might message you back, and maybe we could get you started on my next challenge group. Do you hear how ridiculous that sounded? Now, none of you talk that ridiculous, but I think you get my point. We apologize before we ever even tell people what our transformation is. We're like constantly apologizing for the fact that we're sharing our story with people. Whereas I believe top coaches, the people who really get this business, have such a belief about themselves that it comes out in everything they do. And it sounds something like this. A top coach would be willing to say even this. Hey guys, just wanted to share with you my transformation this week. I lost 1 inch in my waist, and I am so excited about the results that I've had. If you would like to be in my next health and fitness group, I would love to give you the accountability and support you need. Comment below, and I'll be glad to contact you and give you more info on how you can join my next group. Top coaches can lose 1 pound, 1 inch, 1 whatever, and they talk about it with confidence, and they talk about it with pride. And I don't mean a bad kind of pride. I'm talking about the good kind of pride. They are proud of themselves for losing 1 inch. And people that do not believe in themselves apologize that they only lost 30 pounds. You guys ever done that? I cannot tell you how many people I've talked with. Whoa, my screen just went crazy. Someone just started sharing their screen. That was freaky, Monica. Is that happening on your screen? I didn't even know people could share their screen if they weren't a host. How do we unscreen share?
Ashley, there you go. Ashley. All right.
That was freaky. I was like, Monica, what are you, did I have slides that I sent you? Okay, no, we're good. We're back. It's all good, Ashley. It's no problem. I'm sure it was an accident, or you just had something really cool you wanted to show me. So, see, I told you I'm ADD. I don't even know where I was now. So people have to believe in themselves. And when you believe in yourself, it alters the things that you are willing to do and the way you're willing to do them. And the law of magnetism that John Maxwell talks about says we attract who we are, not what we want. How many times have we said, I wish I could find someone that just wanted to work the business. I wish my coaches were more motivated. I wish my coaches would just buy into the vision. I wish, blah, I wish. What you have attracted is a duplication of you. Who you are is what you attract. Now, don't take this too personally if you only have 6 or 7 coaches, okay? Because here's where people get this wrong, and then I'll tie this all back in a second, I promise. There is a balance to this because some people only have 6 discount coaches and are frustrated that no one wants to work the business. They're discount coaches. They're not real coaches, and I don't mean that to degrade them, but people get frustrated that their discount coaches don't want to work the business. Does that make any sense at all? They just wanted a challenge pack, and you said, would you like a discount? If so, you can sign up as a discount coach. And then you get mad at them that they don't want to work the business. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You basically have challengers who are willing to sign up as a coach so that you could get a little extra volume on your weak leg, right? And now you're pissed off that they don't want to work the business. Dude, they're not working coaches. They're just challengers with a different name next to them in your online office, okay? So don't look into this too far and go, oh my gosh, I have 6 coaches and none of them want to work the business. That means I suck. No, it means you don't have any coaches is what it means, okay? And by the way, since I heard you guys talking about the leadership ladder, I hope that you guys would agree with this. 8 coaches does not equal diamond, guys. Too many people think 8 coaches equals diamond. And maybe in the old school, before we had a word like discount coach, maybe 8 coaches with 2 emeralds really did equal diamond. But now that we have this new term called discount coaches, please, 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 please don't get to 8 coaches and go, okay, I've arrived. I'm there. Now I need 2 emeralds. No, keep recruiting people because you don't even have anyone that wants to work the business, okay? That was a total side note. That was free, not even included in my notes, okay? My point is keep moving forward, okay? So here's the thing. You have to believe on the inside that you are significant and that you are valuable and that you have something to offer and that your mission and that your purpose is incredible. And when you believe that on the inside, it will cause you to do in a whole new way. You'll be willing to do things bigger than you've ever done before. You'll be willing to do things beyond what you've ever been doing before, which will cause you to have things you have never had before. Now, this doesn't happen overnight, okay? I remember the very first time I put on my first live event, I signed up for the John Maxwell team just over 2 years ago. And I remember my very first speech that I gave, I made this statement that I'll never forget, and I've continued to live by it. It's very important if you make a statement yourself to go ahead and live by that statement, okay? And I said this, your outward success is an expression of your inward growth. I had absolutely no proof of it at the time, guys. I had 15 people at my live event and only one of them had paid. The other 14 people I gave free tickets to so that the one person that paid wouldn't feel lonely sitting in the room just listening to me talk. I had absolutely no proof. My first year in business, I grossed $500. $500, guys. I signed 2 clients in an entire year. That is the equivalent of you guys selling 2 challenge packs in 12 months. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like the John Maxwell team should have said, bro, you need to go back to detailing cars. This is apparently not what you're supposed to do. But here's the thing. I believed on the inside that I had value to offer. And I was willing to do anything and everything it took to get that value to the world. I had a mission, and my mission was to equip and empower people to live out their legacy. And I didn't care if people wanted to talk to me or not. I was just going to keep talking until someone did want to listen. And I was going to keep messaging people, and I was going to start putting on live events even though they failed and failed and failed. And I was going to keep running training groups even though they failed and they failed and they failed. And then one day I woke up and they weren't failing anymore. Randomly, people were messaging me back and people wanted to talk to me. Randomly, I happened to find my niche. Just because I talked to enough people, I eventually found my niche. Guys, I did not set out to be a Beachbody life coach and leadership trainer. I didn't sign up for the John Maxwell team and say, I see a niche within Beachbody that they really need some help with their leadership. And I think what I'll do is go pay $5,000 for a certification so that I can go rock the Beachbody world and be everyone's leadership trainer and speak on team calls. That was not a game plan at all. I was just messaging everyone on the planet, and Brittany Powers happened to be the next person on my list. I didn't know Brittany Powers was going to end up being a top 10 coach. I didn't know that she was going to go from 2-star to 7-star in 3 months. I didn't know she was going to introduce me to everyone on the planet because she's amazing. I had no idea. I was just believing in the inside that I could help people, that I could add value, that I had something to offer, that I had a mission, that I had a purpose, and I was going to keep doing and doing and doing and doing and doing and doing and doing until it gave me what I wanted to have. And until it gave other people what I wanted them to have. But if you don't believe on the inside, it's not going to come out the same, guys. It is not going to come out the same. And you can believe in Shakeology, and you can believe in Shanti and Shalene and Autumn and Sagi and Tony and Jericho, and you can believe in Carl, and you can believe in the whole freaking thing. But if you don't believe in you, it's not going to work. So you have to decide, I'm going to believe in me first. How do we do that? Number 1, emotional experiences. And number 2, repetition. The 2 ways that we change what we believe are through emotional experiences and repetition. Everything that you believe about yourself today stems from some past emotional experience or repetition. Let me give you a few examples. Let's say a 10-year-old kid. You've always got good grades. Your parents have always thought you were smart. You're a good kid. They love you. Everything seems to be fine. And then one day you get an F on your test. You come home, you show it to dad, and dad looks you in the eyes and says, I cannot believe what a failure you are. And at that very moment, that emotion is enough to penetrate your entire belief system and create a whole new belief that you walk with for the rest of your life. In 6th grade, you don't even try that hard because you think you're a failure. You get to high school, you've already decided there's not really anything you can do with your life, so you don't try there either. You go into the workplace and you don't try that hard because you're stupid, right? You don't try to even get a good job because deep inside you believe you're a failure, you believe you're stupid, and so you don't even try to do anything above average. The other way it could happen is maybe you never have an emotional experience like that, but maybe because you learn differently than what they teach in school. Anybody ever been through that? You have a different learning style than what they teach. And so over and over and over and over and over, you get C's. You get some D's here and there, but you just never do quite get those A's and B's like all the smart kids are getting. And so repetition over time convinces you, I just must not be that smart. I guess I just don't get it. I guess I am just not smart. I guess I just don't have what it takes. Now, those are just a few practical examples that we've probably all seen happen. But there's much more severe. If you've been in an abusive relationship, the thing that sucks about abusive relationships is it's both an emotional experience and repetition. Every single time you're abused is an emotional experience, but when they abuse you over and over and over and over, it's actually a repetition of emotional experiences. Man, that can knock you out, right? But here's the thing. That's the bad news, okay? That was no fun. The good news is we can use emotional experiences and repetition to create positive belief the same way we can negative belief. The difference is we have to choose the positive experiences because the world offers very few of them. The world offers lots of negative experiences, lots of negative repetition. We ourselves, I heard a preacher say this a long time ago when I was a kid, and I'll never forget it. You are your own prophet, meaning you decide with the thoughts you have and the words you say, ultimately who you will become. No one else can determine your outcome. Only you can, because you can give yourself positive experiences and positive affirmations and personal development and team calls and national wake-up calls. You can do those things as often as you want. And so if you want to change what you believe, Here's a few very simple ways that you can do that. Number one, it's one of the vital behaviors, personal development, guys. There's a reason personal development is so important. If I go a week without reading, I can tell there's just something wrong with me. It's like going a week without eating healthy, right? Anybody ever gone a week without drinking your Shaco and you're just like, I just feel weird and off. You go long enough, eventually it can mess you up. Personal development has got to be something you're doing every single day. That's the consistency factor, okay? But here's some great emotional things that you can do for yourself. You're doing it tonight. Team calls, national wake-up calls, summit. Find a way to get to summit. Find a way to get to team retreats. I don't know whose downline you guys are in, but some of the downlines have like big, huge events like Christine Dwyer has Platinum Edge. Find a way to get to events where that emotional experience is created that sometimes penetrates all the negative beliefs you've ever had. I can't tell you how many times I've heard someone that said, I went to Summit, or I went to Platinum Edge, or I went to a team retreat, and I came away and that was the breaking point for my business. Why? There was an emotional experience that was created that was finally able to wipe out the junk that you were believing about yourself. Something about you were able to ride that emotion and go home with it and churn that emotion into a new repetition. So you have got to commit to creating emotional and repetition positive experiences in your life. Now, I want to walk through a few of the, I said I was going to talk about recruiting tonight, and you're like, this is not recruiting at all. I want to talk to you about a few specific things with recruiting that people are not doing. And the reason I believe they aren't doing it is because of a mindset. So I just want to go through a few things that I promise will help you to become more intentional about believing and doing when it comes to recruiting. How many of you people want to move your business forward? Anybody? Anybody want to move your business forward? And they said it earlier on the call, hitting Success Club is great. And it is an absolute foundation. Why? Because we know that people are going to drop off HD, right? So you have to constantly be adding new people. Coaching is the same, guys. Here's the mistake people make. Well, I have to constantly hit Success Club. I have to constantly sell more challenge packs. But very few people have the mentality of I have to constantly add new coaches. The people who do have that mentality are the people who have success in this business. And the people who do not have success in this business are the people who do not regularly add coaches. You can only do so much on your own, guys. The whole point of this business is residual income. You only have 24 hours in a day. You build a team of 20 people, guess what? You have just multiplied your time and your energy and your resources and your talents and your efforts by 20. It's just common sense. If you want to grow a business, if you want to quit a job, go on a dream vacation, retire, a spouse, whatever, you're going to need to build a team. Okay? So let's walk through these. Number one, people are not posting about the coaching opportunity. Or I could really even say people are not posting about being a coach at all. We have so many people that post every single day sweaty workout selfies and workout videos. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? I'm not talking bad about that. That's good. People need to see that you actually exercise, right? That's part of the business, being a product of the product. But let me ask you this. How many of you have seen people running around the neighborhood, out exercising, running in the neighborhood? Anybody ever done that? How many of you have seen other people at a gym working out? Anybody? Most of us, right? How many of those people have you stopped and asked if they would help you get in shape? Anybody? See, we know we're coaches. So we assume that everyone else knows we're coaches, which is probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody here, but seriously, I have never seen a person running in the neighborhood and gone, oh crap, I got to chase them down because I've been looking for some workout tips and I bet they could help me. I have never in my life even thought that. Guys, You think because you're friends with a bunch of Beachbody coaches that if people post workout videos, it's obvious that they're workout coaches. There are millions of people on Instagram posting about their health journey that are not trying to sell anything. Only Beachbody coaches know you're a Beachbody coach. Like, I could go to your profile right now. I guarantee you, I could point out that you're a Beachbody coach in like 5 seconds, right? But that's because I work with Beachbody coaches. I know the products. If I see Shaun T on the screen, if I see a Shaco cup, I know you're a Beachbody coach. The common average person does not know that. And they definitely don't know that you are hiring, right? How many of you have ever seen someone running around the neighborhood and said, oh crap, I need some extra money. I'm going to chase that person down and see if they can help me make some money. I bet you've never thought about that. In fact, that'd probably be the dumbest thing anyone could ever think, right? Because they're not advertising they have a business. They're just advertising that they run. Now, you might ask that person where they got their shoes. You might ask that person where they got their shirt. You might ask them even where they got their headband, but you would not ask that person for a job. Am I right? In fact, you probably assume they don't have a job, and that's why they're out running around the neighborhood, right? They have a lot of free time. That's why they're running around the neighborhood instead of working out at home. So you have to be intentional about posting that you are a coach. Now, you don't have to drop the Beachbody name all over the place, okay? But you got to be intentional about at least letting people know what the heck you do. There's very, very easy ways to do this. The number one reason I believe people don't post about the fact that they're a coach is because they think it sounds salesy and they might turn some people off. Am I right? Salesy. What the heck does that mean? I swear the word salesy only exists in a Beachbody dictionary. I've never heard it in my entire life until I started working with Beachbody coaches. And I hear people all the time, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to sound salesy. What the heck does that mean? Sales, that's not a freaking word. Who made that up, guys? The reason you don't want to sound salesy is because some random weirdo on Instagram sent you a message and said something ridiculous. I could probably pull one up right now. Said something ridiculous like this. Hey, so I was looking at your bio. It's super cool. Would you like to rep my clothing brand? If so, here's my phone number. Shoot me a text, and I'd love to chat with you. Okay, that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Have any of you ever said something so stupid? No. And yet you're worried about being salesy because you're afraid you're going to sound like that idiot. None of you are that dumb. Can I give you a few easy ways to sneak it into a post without being salesy? How about when you post your workout video saying something like, I'm so thankful for my accountability group. Even though I run the accountability group, just the fact that I run it helps keep me in check and on track for my own goals. Now, nothing salesy there, is there? But I'm letting people know that I do run challenge groups, which makes someone go, oh, you run groups? Well, I mean, I've been needing to lose weight, right? Or how about this? A team call tonight, such a great opportunity. You take a screenshot like I'm going to do before we get off because I'm going to post about my business. I take a screenshot of every freaking call I speak on, every single one. And you can say something like, I am so thankful that I get to hop on calls like this with positive people and talk about my business. I can't even believe that I get to spend my Monday night. It's Monday, right? Yeah, I think it's Monday. I can't believe I get to spend my Monday night hanging out with positive people growing my business. Now, who else talks good about their job? Anybody that you know? Absolutely not. I mean, maybe 1 in 100, they probably work at Chick-fil-A. 16-year-olds that work at Chick-fil-A seem to love the place. I don't know of anybody else on the planet that's happy with where they work. All of a sudden, you're putting out positive vibes about your job and about your business. It wasn't salesy. You just telling everyone you had a great time, right? Those are some very, very simple ways. Now, I do believe in jab, jab, right hook. I believe that once in a while there needs to be a big hook that says something like this. Just a few years ago, I was on the struggle bus. I had no confidence. I had no hope. I had no purpose. And I can't even believe the opportunity that I've been given to help people every single day and be a part of this incredible community of people that want to change the world. Have you ever wanted to make a difference? I would love for you to join my team. Comment below and I'll send you some details about our next sneak peek week. Did that sound salesy? If it did, you got to, I mean, if that sounds salesy to you, you just got to get over it. I'm sorry. Because businesses do have to every once in a while actually advertise, okay? That's just part of business, okay? So if you can't handle that part, I'm sorry. You've got a purpose and you've got something to offer the world. Stop worrying and caring so much about what people think about you. I say that fear is very, very selfish because it always has you thinking about how the situation will affect you instead of thinking about how it could affect someone else's life. There could be someone out there right now that needs this opportunity more than anything else in the world. My wife had suffered with hypothyroidism for like 3 years before she found Shakeology. Shakeology was her saving grace. She literally would work out for 30 minutes in the morning and lay in bed sick all day and night. I lost my wife. My kids lost their mom. Shakeology came around and literally 2 months later, my wife was playing with the kids again, cleaning out the garage, going to the park with us. I got my wife back. My kids got their mom back. If you're too afraid to sound a little bit salesy, then go ahead and let the rest of the world die while you sit and enjoy your Shako. That's just a total side note. Sorry if that was a low blow, okay? Next thing, you've got to be intentional about having conversations about the coaching opportunity. Now, this is some scary crap right here. Some people just like crap their pants when I said have conversations about the coaching opportunity, because in my prediction, 80% of the company is not even having daily convos. I'm just being real here. Just being real. And the people that are having convos, I would say 10% of them are forming people to death and never even get to the invite because they're scared to hear the word no. Because you think that if someone says no to you, that they rejected you, when in all reality, they did not reject you, they rejected their self because they said they are not worth $150. They said their health, their future, and their family is not worth $150, and that's a really, really sad thing. So first of all, stop thinking that people saying no to you is a rejection of you. They're simply saying they don't value themselves, or that they like to wrap themselves up in saran wrap and lose 45 inches in 20 minutes, one or the other, okay? Either way, don't judge them, feel sorry for them, because they don't value themselves. So here's the mindset that I think people have that's holding them back from having coaching conversations. One of the mindsets, and I think this also goes back to the whole posting thing too. I'm not a successful coach, so what do I have to offer? People say that and they think that all the time. Well, it's so easy for Monica to invite people to the coaching opportunity because she can talk about her success. You know, I saw one of the messages that Melissa McAllister sends to her coaching prospects, and she can say some pretty cool stuff, like some really cool stuff, right? Most of you can't say any of those things. And you say, how in the world am I supposed to invite people to the coaching opportunity if I'm not a successful coach? I haven't quit my job. I don't make millions. I don't even make thousands. I'm lucky if I make hundreds. Let me ask you this. How many of you are health and fitness experts? Sorry, I got a little ADD there looking at my phone. How many of you are health and fitness experts? Raise your hand. Do we have any certified personal trainers or dietitians or nutritionists? I don't see anybody on the first page. I know we got like 6 pages of people. I don't want to scroll through because I'm scared it'll like freeze my screen out. No one on here, on the first page at least, is claiming to be a health and fitness expert, although I'd assume with 6 pages of people, there's probably 3 or 4 people that actually are, okay? 3 or 4 people out of 6 pages. 6 times 25 is 150. We got 150 people. There's probably maybe 5 or 6 health and fitness experts, okay? Raise your hand if you've helped someone lose weight. Raise it high. Raise it high. That is so interesting to me that none of you are health and fitness experts, and yet all of you are helping people lose weight. So are you telling me that you don't have to be an expert to help people? And yet so many of you are afraid to offer the coaching opportunity because you're not a business expert yet. You see what I'm saying there? Do you know why you've been able to help people lose weight? Because number one, you plugged them into a great system. Would you agree? Shako plus meal plan plus workout equals success. If you just do those three things every single day, like you're solid, right? But then we gave them, why, thank you there, Anita. But then we gave them accountability and support. Now, how much of that did you offer? Did you create the resource? Did you create the Shako? I don't think so. I don't think Darren's on the call tonight. Did you create the workout program? Did you create the meal plan? What did you do? Accountability, support. That's it. So if that's all we have to offer to help people have success on their health journey, wouldn't you think that's all we have to offer to help them have success on their business journey? Think about it. Plug them into a great system. Pretty sure your upline has some pretty good training. You didn't even have to create it. You didn't even have to provide it. All you have to do is point them to it. Hey, here's the link. Go check it out. Hey, here's the team call. Go get on it. Josh will call you out on all the stupid crap you've been doing. Here's the link for Beachbody training. Here's the link for National Wake Up Call. All of these incredible resources. What's your responsibility? Accountability, support. Accountability, support. If you think you have any more to do with someone else's success than that, it's kind of, to be honest, an arrogant thing. I've actually gotten to the point before I work with a one-on-one client now. Before we actually enter into the process, I send them a message and I say something like this. I just want you to know that if you're going to work with me, I cannot make you successful. What I can do is ask you the questions that you're not willing to ask yourself. I can challenge you, I can support you, and I can give you accountability. But at the end of the day, only you can give you success. So do not sign up with me assuming that I will make you successful, because I don't make successful people. I simply take successful people and help them have greater levels of success. People drop out of challenge groups all the time. Do any of you ever feel like a bad coach? Probably not. You go, well, that sucks. They're lazy, right? I've very rarely heard of anyone assuming they're a bad coach because people drop out of challenge groups. Yet we run into people all the time who feel like they're bad leaders because coaches quit. You are not a bad leader because people decide to quit. You cannot make people successful. And I think this takes a lot of pressure off, guys. You cannot make people successful. I've been mentored by John Maxwell, the #1 leadership trainer on the planet. I have hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of content from John that I've listened to and his teaching faculty. And I can still not make anyone successful. I can only draw out of them what they're willing to give. You cannot make successful coaches. What you can do is offer it to everyone on the planet, hoping that in the process you find the people who do want to be successful and are willing to put in the work and make it happen. Once again, just like selling challenge packs. If you sell enough challenge packs, eventually you find people who are willing to actually stick it through the challenge group and drink their Shako every day and check in every day. Coaching is the same way, guys. if you will just keep reaching out to more and more and more and more and more. Some of the most successful people in the company have told me for every 10 coaches you sign, only one of them will actually want to work the business. Which means, and I say this in my Art of Recruiting group on week 1, people always tell me, I don't have anyone who wants to work the business. And my response to them is always this: your problem is not that you don't have anyone that wants to work the business. Your problem is you don't have enough people. If you're focused on the people who don't want to work the business, you're never going to have anyone that wants to work the business. You've got to focus on the people who do want to work the business. You say, I don't have any of those. Okay, go talk to more people. Go post more about the coaching opportunity. Go start more convos about the coaching opportunity. Go talk to your challengers who are rocking it out and offer them the coaching opportunity. Talk to every single person on the planet until you find the people who believe in your mission and want to run with you. And stop spending all of your time worrying about the people who don't want to work the business. There's a rule called the 80-20 rule. And the 80-20 rule says that 80% of your results will always come from 20% of your people. Number one weakness of leaders is that we spend all of our time focusing on the 80% that don't do anything. When we've got 20% right in front of our face, ready to run with us, ready to go with us, ready to do amazing things with us, and we are ignoring them because we are so focused on the negative. You know what happens when you focus on negative? You begin to believe negative. You begin to do negative. You begin to have negative. Be, do, have. What you believe is what you will do, is what you will have. How many of you are ready to take your business to a whole new level? Anybody? Come on, raise your hand high. Raise your hand high if you want to go to a new level. It all starts right here. All of it. When I first signed up for the John Maxwell team, they gave me my first homework assignment was to read the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership 3 times in a row before I could do anything else. And I was pissed. I was so pissed off. I, first of all, hate reading. I got into personal development listening to podcasts because I detailed cars. So I listened to podcasts all day. I love to listen. But when they said, first of all, when they said read, I was pissed. Then they said the same book 3 times in a row. I was really pissed. And then they said, you can't do anything else until you read the book 3 times. I was super pissed. But then I opened it up and chapter 1 was Law of the Lid. And it said, you will never be more successful than your ability to lead people. And I swear on that day, my life was changed forever. I grew up in small churches, and I have nothing against the church. I love church. I go to church. My brother and dads are pastors, but just let me use this as an example. I'm not trying to offend anyone. The book name was 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I grew up in small churches where I constantly heard pastors say, we're not growing because they aren't excited. They haven't bought into the vision. They don't do enough. I played music most of my life, and I'd go hang out in local guitar shops, and I would hear the owners of the shop say something like, this just sucks because they, meaning the customers, don't appreciate good service anymore. They all go to Guitar Center. They don't even know what real music is. I hang out in local coffee shops because I love me some coffee. And I would hear local coffee shop owners say stuff like, well, our business just isn't going anywhere because they all want crappy coffee from Starbucks. They just want convenience. They just want a drive-through. Do you know what I never heard a single leader in my entire life say? I never once heard someone say, this business is not going where it should go because I need to grow. Never once heard someone say that. And when I read chapter 1, Law of the Lid, I was ready to just send John Maxwell all of my money for the rest of my life for that one lesson. That you will never go beyond what you're willing to grow. If your business isn't where you want it to be, you have got to grow. In Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, he makes a statement that I absolutely love. It kind of goes along the same lines. It says, a level 5 leader is always looking out the window for people to reward and always looking in the mirror for someone to place the blame. If you want to go to a new level, you have got to grow. Stop worrying about people that don't want to work the business. Stop worrying about people that say no. I've heard no more times in my life than I can count. I've had nasty messages from people that say stuff like, are you kidding me? $200 for your training? There's no way in the world your training is worth that much, because my uplines offer free training that I'm sure is just as good. What I want to say is, that's great. I work with 5 top 10 coaches, and they all send their entire teams to sign up for my training. In fact, some of them pay for their entire teams to go through my training. So if you think your upline training is better, that's fine. I don't really care. Just go do it. I don't know why you bothered even messaging me. That's what I want to say, but of course I'm much more polite than that. And I politely let them know that's totally fine. If they ever change their mind, I'll be here waiting for them. But here's the thing. You have to understand, no matter how many people say you suck, no matter how many people don't believe in you, no matter how many people don't want to run with you, you keep looking to the inside and saying, I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to keep learning. I'm going to stay passionate. I'm going to keep my fire lit, and I'm going to create the success that I believe in. So I know I went completely off subject for the last 10 minutes, but I just always like to end with some kind of inspirational real talk, because I know how hard it is to build a business, guys. I built my business from scratch. Yes, I have the certification from the John Maxwell team, but they don't give you clients. They don't give you speaking engagements. You have to do all of that on your own. And it freaking sucks. It's not very much fun. But what is fun is seeing lives changed, getting messages from people of how inspired they are, how much their life has changed. What is awesome is when you're able to quit your day job and take your kids to school every day and pick them up every day. When you're able to take your wife out on dates, Monday for lunch, Friday for the entire day, because I don't really work on Fridays. When you're able to give your kids incredible birthday parties that you've literally never been able to do. When you're able to bless the people in your life and do amazing things for people you care about. I just want to end the call by saying it's worth it. It's 1,000,000% worth it to go all in and find out what you're capable of. Would you rather spend the rest of your life wondering, what if? What if? Does anybody want to spend the rest of their life asking themselves, what if? It's going to be hard and it's going to be tough, but you do not want to live with regret. Go all in and just find out. Well, so what if you fall on your face? What do you got to lose? Beachbody costs like $115 a month after your membership fee, and you're getting product for it. How many people for the price of what it costs to run the business get products for it? Anybody? No. This is the only business on the planet where you literally get to have your own business for just buying the product, and you get a discount on it. Go all in. Find out where you can go. Don't spend the rest of your life wondering, what if? Okay? If you feel stuck on your journey, I would love to give you more help. If you go to my website, it's joshuacoates.com. I've got a few training groups specifically for Beachbody coaches. They're all for Beachbody coaches, which means it's all in Beachbody language. It's all implementations based on your 3 vital behaviors. I'm huge on the 3 vital behaviors. I love them to death. I use them for my own business. I know there's 4 now. Okay. I know. I keep forgetting. There's 4 now, Josh. Everyone's been telling me that the last few weeks. But my trainings are based on the 3 vitals. If you need help with daily motivation, I have a group called Clarity and Focus. It's going to help you connect to your why and your mission and set up a simple daily game plan to move you forward. If you're struggling with recruiting, I have one called The Art of Recruiting. It's the hot one. Everyone wants to do this training. I think there's only like 5 spots left in my next group. If you want to be in the art of recruiting this month, it starts next week. You need to go sign up like tonight, okay? After that, it'll be sold out, and I'll post link for my next one, which I run them every single month, okay? If you're saying, Josh, I've been doing, but I can't quite get the believing down. I have a new group that I'm launching called 4 Weeks to Believing in You. And it's all about putting you through a process to help you set up daily consistencies to help you change your belief system and find your inner rock star. I tell people you have to be as arrogant as a rock star and as humble as a homeless person. So you have got to find your inner rock star, okay? And then for those of you that have large teams, I suggest only if you are, say, like 4-star and up, and you really, really, really have the recruiting down, but you have a big team, you're trying to figure out, how do I lead people? How do I help all of these people? I have a group called The Art of Leading. It's how to motivate, mentor, and multiply. It'll help you learn to properly motivate people, how to properly mentor and pick the people to mentor, and then multiply, okay? So do me a huge favor. If you need help in your business, go check the groups out, guys. I promise you, I will deliver content like crazy, energy like crazy, and I will give you very simple tasks to make sure you know what to do. I don't just get a bunch of people excited and run around in circles. I will give you specific checklists, things to do to move your business forward. I would love to work with you. I would love to help you get your business rolling. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Monica, I could probably stick around for just like 15 minutes for some Q&A if you want real quick. That's totally up to you. I know it's late on Eastern time.
Oh gosh, guys, wasn't that amazing? The chat was like exploding the whole way through. Josh, thank you. Thank you so much for everything that
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I think for me, the biggest takeaway, and there's something that you said that just really stood out to me, when you said we have something to offer to the world, and our fear is completely selfish. I don't know if that resonated with any of you guys, but it did for me, and it's oh so true. And I just want you guys, so I think that the theme tonight is really to walk away understanding that what you want, you have to put out, and that's the only way you're going to attract that person back. So what you're putting out is important, and you can't expect to get what you're seeking if you're not being that person, right? Leading from the front and being that person, no matter what the outcome is. And I think Josh really gave us some tough love. I know I love tough love. I love someone that can give it to me the way it is. And Josh, you did that for us tonight, and thank you. So real quick, I did see one question that someone's asking, do you recommend that they take Believing in Me before the Art of Recruiting? Do you have like a system?
Yeah, okay, so it's a good question. So it depends, okay? It depends on where you're at in your business and how confident you feel. If you're struggling with the believing part, then definitely do Believing in You first. But if you're struggling with the doing part, then the Art of Recruiting. Does that make sense? Because the Art of Recruiting is going to give you very specific tasks of what to post, when to post, how often to post, very specific ways to reach out to people, to create those conversations and those relationships. Whereas Believing in You is not going to be as action-based on the business. It's going to be more like positive affirmations, visualization, stuff like that. It's not specific action steps for your business, although obviously all of it will affect the way you do your business. So it really depends on which one do you want more, which one do you need more. But also remember, I run all of these training groups every single month. So it's not like you're going to like miss out on one of them. Just start with whatever you think you need the most first.
Great. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Guys, I don't see any other questions. If you have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself. I think you guys have the ability to unmute yourself. Ask Josh anything you'd like.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Can he repeat the website that we have to go to?
Yeah, it's joshuacoates.com, and I'm gonna put it in the chat for you guys because I know everyone likes to add an E to my last name, and there is no E in my last name. There you go. Right? Oh, 20 other people, but someone put an E in my name, Sylvia. There is no E in my name. It's just joshuacoates.com. Or you can go to my Facebook page. If you find me on Facebook, Josh Coates, I got the link up in my cover photo. I'm smart like that.
So the question was changed to.
And you can also grab my free ebook while you're there.
Oh, cool. So I can attest to one thing, though, that you did say, Josh. I was talking to Audrey. What I really loved about what she said each week was that not only did you train her, but she always walked away with homework. She always walked away with a plan, an action plan. So I think a lot of us on the team, you know, we listen to wake-up calls, we
Yep.
listen to trainings, we listen to all these things, and we're all like, we have all these wonderful aha moments, like we like to call, but then after that, we're like paralyzed. We don't do anything with it. And I can attest to the fact that Audrey's told me what it's also provided her with is an action plan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, an action. Okay, I learned this. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So guys, if that's another thing that you may be struggling with, you may want to look into this seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. And I say that all of my training groups are based on 3 things. If you are a coach who puts together training groups, feel free to write these down and steal from it. I don't care. Inspiration, information, and implementation. Most people are way too high on the information, which leaves people just mind boggled and not even knowing what the heck to do. Some people, especially motivational speakers, are kind of guilty of being way too inspirational and not really giving you any crap to do, which is why I tried to give you a few very specific things as far as posting goes and convo goes. Obviously, I'll give you a ton more in my training, but if you do not get all 3 of those things, inspiration opens the heart and mind to listen to the information. Okay. If you lead with the information, you'll have everybody lost. Okay. And then once you have the information, always give immediate implementation, which gets people with that high energy and all this new information going and actually doing something. So all of my training groups are based on those 3 things. And if you ever run a training group and you miss one of those things, I promise it will fail. Because if it doesn't have all 3, that's the 3 things that somehow make us work. Because it gives us the inspiration, the information we need, and the implementation to actually do something. And again, I talked about at the beginning of the call, way too many people want to change what they have without changing what they do. And it just doesn't work like that. If it did, we'd all be millionaires with Melissa McAllister 6-pack abs. That's just, that'd be life and it would be cool, but it doesn't happen without doing something.
Very true. All right, guys, anything else? Anybody else have any questions before we let Josh go? All right. I think we're good. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. I saw somebody, Stephanie's already signed up and ready to go.
Beautiful.
So we look forward to chatting after this as well, Josh. But thank you so much for being on tonight.
You're welcome.
It was really awesome. I mean, my mind is blown, and I'm really excited to take your Art of Recruiting. That's the one that I want to tap into.
Very cool.
All right. So that's all. That wraps it up. Have a great night, guys. And if you have any further questions, make sure you could check out Josh on Facebook. He's on Instagram as well, and joshcoates.com if you want to get signed up. Have a great night.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Night.